Good evening, everyone, the viewers for today. If you're listening to us on our X Twitter Spaces, this is Fat Talks again, that comes to you every Thursday at 4 p.m. Welcome, and if it's the first time you're having us today, Fat Talks is a product of Fidelis. Fidelis is a leadership institute where we train leaders of all nature from all walks of life. So actually, we have an ongoing cohort that is about to end, and if you'd like to join us, there's a cohort that is starting in July and we'd like to have you, and so we invite you to check out our website, go to our LinkedIn Spaces and sign up. Thank you for taking the time to view us. Thanks to Smart 24 TV for the time that they give us to make sure that we voice and share, conversate things that matter to us as leaders. It's our privilege today. We have a host, we have a guest, and yes, before I introduce our today's topic, please, in your comment when you get to watch in your YouTube channel, let us know how your thoughts are, how was your day, and how are you doing generally? A question that most of us never get to answer in detail. But today, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, my name is Evelyn Osime, your host. I'm privileged to host today's show, and our theme for today, we are trying to unmask the masculinity of men masculinity. It's that huge, so I'm going to read it just up for us. Unmasking masculinity, navigating men's mental health in the modern world. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, June is a men's mental health month. So at Fidelis, we are focusing our conversations towards mental health in regards to men. That is to say that we are not trying to box the men. We are trying to just give them a platform. We're trying to share a platform where we can actually look deeper into what the mental health in regards to men mean. We are not leaving you, the women, out, neither the children, but today we'll focus on the men. And to have that conversation, ladies and gentlemen, we have an expert. I'd like to introduce him, but I'll probably have the whole day here. But just a little snippet in who he is. Our expert today is a mental health expert, enthusiast. So if I mention enthusiast, I pray that you're expectant, open your heart to what this conversation is going to be about. So allow me to introduce Mr. Manya to our Fat Talks show.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so
very
much.
welcome.
Thank you so
Let
much.
me just
Happy
add to
be
it.
here.
Thank you. Very nice. He will introduce himself in detail. But a few things that I've got to learn about Mr. Manya. He's a believer. You let us know what that means. Yeah. But also, he's a mental health enthusiast. And that's deeply what we want to really focus on today. Yeah. So it's our pleasure to really have you today.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So privileged to host you today.
Thank you so much.
Very well privileged.
Happy to be here. Thank you, Fidelis Institute of Leadership. Thank you, Smart 24 for opening this space for talking mental health related conversations. And thank you, Evelyn, for hosting me. My name is Martin Amanya. But you find in many other circles people calling me Mwalimu. So actually Mwalimu has almost become like part of my name, so it's a Mwalimu Martin Amanya.
Nice.
So
you're going to tell us how that...
So Mwalimu means a teacher.
Okay.
I have a bit of my roots in training as a teacher of Kiswahili.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, my first training was in teaching Kiswahili, and my passion and spiritual drive led me into mental health work. Because I love people, I love to support people, I love to see them living improved quality of lives, I love to see them resilience and basically to carry on in life with a sense of meaning and purpose that is rooted well in faith also, because that's for me top. I actually also say that as we continue to have conversations about mental health, I always like to remind people that one's faith is an integral part of their mental health resilience. What they believe and how they're convinced about what they believe and what that means for them in terms of the community it provides around them, the spaces they go to, church, fellowship, and I would say that that's so key. So when you mentioned about the belief, I thought that's what it means, that I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, and that's also key in how I do what I do.
In how you show up.
Yeah, so I am a mental health enthusiast. I like to add that I'm an advocate for men's mental health.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely at the core. I love that, because that's many a times a forgotten thing. But I love to bring it forward, that people get to know that it's important that the men also can be able to express themselves. There are things they go through and they can find a person or two they can confide in and find help. Or they can have a support space. They can have people around them who can listen to them, who are not just demanding things from them, that they should do this and should do this, which is many a times what men are thought about for. Provider, do this, pay the bills, do this and do this. When they're hurting.
I see the passion, right?
It's like you, as a man, you should figure out, how. I also need someone to help me figure out. So that's I really love with all my heart to do those things, and I love to bring these conversations to communities. First, help them know that there is a need. So now that you know there is a need, we are here to help you. Because some people don't know that maybe there is a need. So
you actually don't know if there is a need.
Yeah, that's a bit about me. I love meeting people and making friends.
Beautiful.
I'm just basically a conversationalist.
So mwalimu is a Kiswahili word?
Yeah, it's a Kiswahili word.
Okay, maybe we could have a lesson already. I'm thinking that's already a lesson on my side. Mwalimu.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
So
but I'm not paying for that.
Teacher of Kiswahili.
Anyway, that's very nice. So you're also a counseling psychologist?
So yeah, that's that's the title they give you when you do a course, Masters of Counseling Psychology or Arts in Counseling Psychology. You qualify as a counseling psychologist. Okay,
well, just to break that down. The English for us.
So that means a counselor, basically a counselor.
Okay.
Psychology. A psychologist, a counseling psychologist, a therapist. Is someone who, when I asked,
it's the professional course.
When I was doing my practicum around Makere, and I was doing it in the halls of residence. And we had to talk to these ladies who wash clothes, the administration, the cooks and whatever. So I asked, how do I break this down in Luganda?
Yes.
And so I talked to one person and I said, so counselor, oh no, my LOC.
Counselor.
So when I asked, they told me, abulira n'okubudabuda abantu.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So that's the kind of counselor we mean when we say counselor. So work with Safe Places Uganda. And
so when you mentioned from campus you've done this, seems like something that you've always wanted and you've always found yourself doing. Is it, or did you just find yourself now? It became a topic of late. So we have lots of people that have adopted this mental health as a thing. Is it something that you have learned or grown into? Always had?
It's in my, it was the spiritual inclination of loving people, wanting to serve people, wanting to share your life so that people don't go through the mistakes that you went through, wanting to encourage them, to pray with them, wanting to help them make meaning from events of life, wanting them to do life better. We do life with others, and seeing people appreciate and say, brother, what you shared was helpful, or can we meet again? Or then the desire to continue doing and doing it with people. So I was like, I think if I integrate in here formal skills, it will be helpful. Because many a times as a Christian, you broke a verse, and what someone needs is just for you to sit with them and listen. Just listen. If they're grieving, they've lost a loved one. Just come into a place and say, I'm here. I don't have to talk. I don't have to know what to say. I can just be around the house and say, we'll be around for as long as, So that's what took me into formally training in counseling. So from that, my heart has been...
It's full.
Full for that. Every day I'm thinking of who can I support? How can I make it accessible? How can I make it more effective? How can I reach out? And that's the fulfillment. of doing what you love and prayerfully considering and knowing that it's helping to put a brick on people's lives to make them better.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I hope you like this.
Yeah.
What do you do in your free time? Nothing specific to mental health.
I love exercising. But you're about to say that that's helpful for me. But I love exercising. I love reading books. I love volunteering and charity work. I love meeting friends and making friends. I love traveling, road trips, music.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay. You're about to bring it all in here.
So yeah. I just
Okay, very nice.
Simplicity.
So,
I don't love complicated life and stressful.
Yeah. So 7 years of experience, yeah?
Simple things, yeah.
Wow, yeah. It's been a great build.
I'm happy. It's been the grace of God. I shouldn't boast. And there are very many people who do what we do. So we are collaborating, we contribute we just work together to do what we can do whenever we have to do it, and just social responsibility with a sense of commitment.
You said you worked with a safe place.
I work with safe places even currently.
Even right now.
Yes, safe places.
Just around the same time. You pay for that. No, it is well.
Yeah.
So is it just around the same kind of work?
Safe places, yeah.
That is exactly the central
private mental health center. So
great.
I work there as a counseling psychologist.
Some kind of a location. If I wanted a place, is that where a place I can go?
Yeah.
Is it for only men?
Yeah, no. It's open for people who have any needs for counseling.
Okay.
And I have to break down that mental health and counseling issues and whatever range from as basic as you've been doing this job and you're being told of a promotion. Maybe it's a job, it's a position that's been held by men for a long time. And even you're being told about this job and you qualify, you're going to be given that responsibility. You've never been there, you've never done it. You're going to be heading a male-dominated maybe staff, but also with ladies, but you want to be sure, how do I fit in this role? How do I treat these people in a way that's professional, but yet that is kind, that is loving, that is team-oriented, that is supportive, that is encouraging, and that's warm, and you're like, let me talk to someone. It's a good thing. It's not like you're running your head mad and you're going to, and you've lost and you're saying, I need someone.
You need some help.
Think of it that way.
You need to think of a bar or maybe some particular space.
We cancel each other informally every day. So, it's been a long day. I'm feeling some headache. Take some Panadol.
Okay.
You've already done some,
some management of
exactly.
Yeah.
But what happens now is from a professional point of view.
Okay.
Because what it helps is broadens the perspective. Because many a times, if maybe this lady has had a struggle with or had a challenge with maybe one of the staff or whatever, and now he has the higher position, or this guy has had struggles in the line of work and whatever with this lady or whatever, and now he has that position. Means like now I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Like it's either
how do we measure this thing up? Yes.
Can do anything, but yet actually you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You have to be able to manage yourself and manage the team well. Have a bigger picture. I mean, it's not about you and this, whatever it could have happened. With the relationship that didn't work out. Don't bring those feelings into. Company has goals, has plans, that are bigger than just
action plans that need to be met.
Get to plan well, do the right document.
So you become that space where you don't have to spend, allow the company to do its work while you're babysitting and also providing the environment where an employee can come and just
supportive,
rejuvenate, get back their bounce and then go back to
exactly. So you don't
must
get
be a good
exactly.
Tell me how is a day in the life of Mr. Manya at Self?
So a day in the life of Mwalimu is wake up, pray first, do my about 10 to 15 minute drill.
Okay.
For purposes
I see you.
And then do my Bible reading.
Okay.
That thing I do. And then if I have some things to arrange for the day, I get to write in my diary, to-do list, where I've written those the previous night, or I have some work I want to start on in that morning, you know, yeah, of course, a glass of water, if there's a fruit to bite, and then, or if I have to be somewhere, then dash out.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's how it begins, and it's just good.
It's good?
Life is just
okay. Yeah. We are speaking about mental health.
So I need to be able, I can't give what I don't have.
Yeah,
the things I'm saying are things that have worked for me, and the people around me will support me, so I find it easy to say, you know, this is the thing, and when I have a need also, when things are pressing, I talk to people.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Just trying to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that the enthusiast we have today is really the enthusiast we are having here. Because sometimes you really, you know how, just what you shared in how your day, runs. It's easy to have, like, even if you just split out one element of your day, you know, it can easily have someone like, what's my day is just all over the place in a way. Yeah. So how you start your day also matters. Sets the stage.
When you come to your workplace, do you greet Evelyn if she's at the reception, if there's carries at the gate? I mean, there could be a lot going on, but it just requires a simple greeting, saying, good morning.
Do you know how much stress I have in that morning after you've dropped the kids, you're late, then...
This is the man taking care of the whole organization. You don't care how he feels the morning. So, with that good, people like to say nowadays, positive vibes, and not positive vibes of saying everything's going well, but there is a sense of which you are
choosing to focus on
forward to how things can be better, and this rubs on others. You greet people, you know, you don't just go straight to your desk and I mean. What about us here?
Okay, I see you.
You come to us only when you have problems.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to also.
Yeah, at first build a rapport before you get...
And this work relationship is something simple and basic. And nobody requires you to get involved in someone's life so much.
And gentlemen, Mr. Mwalimu, does Mr. Mwalimu know how much stress we have these days? How in my day of dropping kids, perhaps I was late, then in the morning something went wrong, then they reminded me the school fees was not ready, and then I was supposed to have done, then I have to work and say hello to people.
All these people.
How is that helping me?
How is that my responsibility?
Yes, how? Like really how?
You know, we were meant for community. When God created us, we were meant for community. We live life with people. We do life with human beings. They're not just doings, they're not machines there. If even to CEOs, I would love them to know that, you know, even as you demand results and you know, KPIs from these people and deliverables, they're human beings, they have emotions. When you greet them, it feels good. When the CEO passes by and says, how are you doing? How's the day going? Oh man. Exactly. It feels like, yo.
He even knows my name.
It's going on. He even knows my name. Like me, the boss, he knows I work here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's like why you enter the lift alone.
Yeah.
When you enter, everybody backs is like, boss is in the lift.
Yeah. Okay.
We're finished, man.
No. It's important that we just look at those little things that we overlook as we get into the discussion, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Because when you do, then you kind of set the stage for what actually are we dealing with here. Yeah. Because a lot of that has also created a little bit of, you know, from the COVID experience and all the stigma around when you mention a topic is mental health. You know, we've come all that journey, you know.
That guy has a problem. If there's a space at the workplace where they say, oh, this is a counseling space, if you need to talk to a therapist, that place is a board.
It's a board.
It's sacred. It's like...
Yes, they saw you walking in there.
If someone goes by the end of the day, they're like, that guy.
There's a guy. There's that there.
That guy.
Yes. Yes. And as you're speaking, it's something that at the end of the day, each as an individual becomes a responsibility. So even if you have just an office space or wherever it is that you do your marketplace, you're selling tomatoes, it's a space that you can actually have a mental health management thing there. Like, oh, what's up?
I know.
Why do you look a bit not okay today with you? Yeah. So that we don't limit it to that safe room, to that corner.
Exactly.
Also enabling people
walk
to...
in the compound and you come out and say, no, can we take a walk in the compound? Okay. Yes.
So Mr. Mwalimu, how do you answer the question? How are you?
How are you? Yes.
How are
We
you?
were trained.
And as a man,
We were trained.
Okay.
Good morning, how are you? Fine.
Okay.
Actually, I find myself saying I'm fine and later telling my guys, because then our boys, what? That's how we be like that.
Of course.
And saying later that, hey, by the way, I'm not feeling well. But after I've said I'm fine, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So I have to first say I'm fine.
Yeah.
Then later I have to explain myself.
You get it.
Because it doesn't come naturally to say our expressions in our tradition and culture here is not as good as our friends from the West. From the time they are young, in their training, in their education, they have the confidence, they are able to express themselves if they're not feeling well, because their parents do, because they see adults do, but they also see them validate how they feel and then be able to support them, for them it's not. But us here, we've grown up knowing the greeting, how are you? You respond, and it's like obvious. Then after you compose yourself and say, hey, by the way,
I'm broke.
some headache.
Yeah.
So we need to go past just a hi, a WhatsApp inbox, a hi at work desks, but also the friends we have at family level, but also those friends who we have been for a long time and we have a bond, and there should be people, one or two, that we confide in, that who we should allow a bit of openness, where they should ask us some other questions beyond how are you, say, okay, how did you sleep last night? How are you feeling? Is everything going well? Can we talk a bit more? And you also feel a sense of safety and trust too. Of course, we don't do this with everybody, but I encourage that everybody should have at least people that they can be able to open up to and talk to frequently. The Bible says there are friends who stick closer than brothers. Some of us don't do this with families and siblings and our parents, but we do it with friends who we have built a bond with, who understand us. And I normally say it's easier for us men with the fellow men. The conversations that are...
Let's get there.
And ladies, you know how to do your thing.
Let's get there. Ladies and gentlemen, Again, our topic today, we are trying to
unmask men's masculinity.
Gosh. No. Really, as I was looking forward to this moment, I was like, first of all, navigating men's mental health in the modern world. Yes, we have created that baseline. Yes, it's okay to answer, hi, hello, how are you? Get some time to say hi. By birth, I'm born with boys. I'm the only girl. Back home, I have sons. Little girl. And of course, my dear husband.
Of course, he's the first son.
Now, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, that's a good conversation. But it comes different when it becomes it's a son thing, it's a husband thing, it's a brother thing. Do you really have that moment when, are guys that open, just tell us about what is in the man's mind when I ask, how are you? Do they have time to ask or to answer? What's that environment of answering, how are you?
Man, I think in different contexts. In marriage, the question means...
Let's just leave it blank.
Something different. Because maybe they're asking themselves, what exactly is she asking about? Especially if you insist and would like to know more, depending on the relationship and how you've nurtured conversations together. And of course, he may not tell you everything.
Repeat that.
Depending on the relationship. And by the way,
that's a very good point.
Between the husband and wife. There are people who find it comfortable to go and share with another couple they're going through before. Yet I think, in my opinion, it would begin with your wife, your husband. If there's a sense of trust, there's a sense of vulnerability before each other. Not saying it makes the man weaker or it makes the woman feel on top of the roof or anything. I think relationships work with trust, with feeling safe around each other. That when you say this thing, as someone's wife, your husband won't use it against you. They will actually look at how to help you.
Okay. So
And when your husband says this,
go back to that leveling ground. How are you?
yeah. So
what's in the mind of the man when
what's in the
that
mind
is
of the
questioned?
man?
Whether by a lady or a fellow gentleman. Because as ladies, if I ask you, I'm expecting so much. I would probably even have a hanky for you, and then nothing comes
so
through.
Man, for us, many a times we some of us don't do a lot of details. Just you're fine, you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, I don't think a lot about if he's a man who's dodgy. If your wife asks that, he starts playing the tape of the whole day.
What did I?
What did I do? Where was I? What
did I
she
clear
thinking?
the school fees?
Did she see
A few
anywhere
things,
that I didn't? Of course, if they are dodgy, they're thinking, she must have gotten some information that may point to something, and you say, what does she want to know? So, but if you're a genuine person, what easily comes to your mind is me really we quickly say, I'm fine, but also because by nature and our setting, we do not easily express ourselves because it appears as though it's letting out a lot, but also it varies from one person to another.
Okay.
If someone was an acquaintance and they ask me, how are you? I can tell them. If someone is a family member, depending on the relationship you have also,
correct, yeah.
I can tell them how. But if it's a brother, these guys we have a bond with, I have two friends of mine, we talk man on. We joke that when you are out there sharing, preaching or having a talk, and you say there is a guy.
Yeah, I know
then
a
you
guy.
tell the story. Then when you meet them, you say, I'm that guy.
You know, yeah, that's the guy that we're talking about.
I'm the guy. So when you have that, when someone asks you, then you have the confidence to go through the day and say, by the way, this is happening. Or I'm feeling this kind of way, I need your help. And you know whatever it is, the ditch that you're in, they're willing to listen.
Okay.
And it's not plastic, it's not like they're just going to, you pray about it, it'll be okay. They want to understand. They want to come over to your house, they want to say, can we meet tomorrow? They want to, so how are you?
So
it is as simple as it can get.
What you're saying is you can actually have genuine people as men that you can have that kind of conversation with. So it just depends on if you've nurtured that relationship with someone.
Yeah, the relationship.
Okay, it's good to know.
So, and even children who come back from school and they're interested to narrate to you as a parent what happened at school, or depending on how much attention you give them, your presence, your availability, your investment in their emotions and connection, and because modernism has caused us to run away, dashing for work, morning, kids being taken care of by the maids, and we come back late. Up to 10, if children come to try to play with you, you push them away.
It's time to have some work.
You're so wedded to your work, and by the time you remember, you learn children, and some of these behaviors are not good. They're starting to learn from friends at school. Fellow
friends are teaching them. Where you're not, someone is teaching them something.
Things are happening at home. We've had children that have been abused by mates and stuff.
Okay, so how are you?
I am feeling okay. I'm excited to be here, and I'm happy that we're having this conversation because it means a lot to me that I can be able to contribute to what people are doing to support men and women, generally the community, because you can't talk about men and not talk about women. That's when we have the Twitter space on Saturday.
That's why we are here.
You can't take them away.
Yeah, that's
part of this conversation in some way.
Yeah.
But we're just saying there's a space for men. Where they feel confident and safe and trust, and they can open up the deep issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to paint that space. What color would it be? Oh.
That space is...
there are trees, there are human beings. There's a cave. Because I need to go and perhaps build.
Build that.
I could build that. And
that space is a space that's built through...
is that what they always call a man cave?
Yeah.
You go and talk to your gadgets, hoping the gadgets will talk to you.
The man cave, that the name for the Twitter space that we do with Chairman is basically a men's support space where we talk about things that we go through.
Yeah.
But it's like a safe space for counseling, for talking about things that are deep and core to your heart. Some of them that you can't easily say. Like, there's some things personal to me that I can't say here on TV, and because I would feel comfortable sharing with a fellow man, or even if I had to share with my sister or you or whatever, it would be off here because the space, you know, because people out there understand things differently. They may judge you, they may stigmatize you, and you want a space where you won't feel this while you go through the kind of support that you need. Because think about addiction. I mean, the family feels stigma because we say addiction is a family disease. I mean, nobody goes through it without having the people around them affected.
Yeah, exactly.
How people think of you where you go. And, you know, you could have all this risk, but they say, you know, his child or her child or whatever. So imagine.
So what do you think we get the assumption or the analogy that men in a way are different from women? How is it, you know, how women will just walk into a saloon, whether anyone is listening or not, and I'll talk about how my day was really about my husband who no one knows, but for some reason it was a hard morning and I'll walk out of the salon feeling fresh and all. And then the gentleman perhaps needs something. Why have we got this, the boy child thing, the man child or the man thing? They need some.
So it comes from tradition.
Okay.
Men, we are perceived to be hunters, to be strong gender, the alpha male, masculinity. It puts us in a space of where everybody expects us to be in charge, to be in control, to have things together, to not feel pain, to have our act together, to be on top of the game, to be. So it feels like shameful for someone, even among fellow men, because I really would pity a man who shames a fellow man, or a wife who uses what her husband told her about what they're going through, maybe, and they're using it against them or whatever, because you do not know what's society. Well, the Twitter space where one of the guys in the media said, if you're a journalist, if you are in the art industry and you share about the challenge, it becomes content.
It becomes content for someone. Exactly.
So the kind of thing, given we are not good at expression, we also fear what people will think, because we fear being vulnerable. Yet actually the narrative we are trying to change is that now we need to understand that vulnerability is a core principle in the emotional strength of the framework of masculinity. We need to be, I mean, none of us...
It's not a thing that comes, I guess, maybe easier.
Yeah, how we have grown up being men are strong, boys be boys.
Yes.
You know, men don't cry, men do. So that whole stereotype, so we fear that when we say we will be perceived as weak, we will be embarrassed, we will be... So what we do, we meet with the fellow men and gango, the boys, and then you drink.
Feel strong.
You know you are drinking as it goes down. So after the drink and when everybody has gone and you're driving home, you just feel as empty as you came to that place, because now... And over time, that's how some of them turn to drugs. You know, some of them turn to getting out of their family relationships. Maybe we start thinking, if the woman asks about something, they start feeling insecure. Instead of processing it with some other men who can help, start thinking the relationship has gone wrong, it has failed, and then they need to start going around to look for other people getting adulterous, and which is so. It's a struggle for us to face our issues. So because of that perception, because of that kind of stereotype, so men do not easily open up. Because they think if they do, it's embarrassing. They can be shamed. They will be judged. They will be thought of as to be weak. They don't know what their wives will think of them going on. So, but I say that, you know, talking about issues that I struggle with as a man, does not make you weak. Talking about our internal struggles is as valid as the things we go through every day. So nobody should feel weak or not man enough, or shame or embarrassed to share that. Of course, you need to find people you can trust and confide in to share that. But it is okay. And it means that you're indeed strong enough, you're man enough to know what your fears are, what your challenges are, and you're able to confront them and talk about them and seek help.
Okay.
Professional help, but also family and friends.
Family
and
and friends.
So that's what makes a man a man.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
It's not a laborious work to ask for help. It's rather laborious work not to ask. Because the trajectory consequences
has shown, yeah. So what do you think has changed? Because, our grandfathers and fathers, if they looked at us right now today, which I think they could be, they'd be like, what happened to these mwalimus?
Why have guys become small things get the most balance?
Because somehow, probably, like you say, yes, it's easy to shame or feel that weakness, but then someone wonders what changed, because our fathers, our grandfathers, they stoned it out and it's okay. But now what's wrong with stoning it out? Just asking for someone.
So, times evolve and we realize that, some things that used to be done were helpful.
Yeah.
Because definitely men do not, share out everything to everyone. They will not pour out everything at the family. But they can find, even the men of the old, they used to talk. They used to have fireplace conversation. They would, to meet over a drink, they would have elders meetings where they would talk these issues out. And what has changed now is that, people are growing to be more individualistic. And, we no longer have people investing in long-term friendships. I told you I met a professor who said he had a function and one of his friends had been friends with him 47 years. My mind was blown, 47 years.
Yeah.
But you know what's happening now? If someone is acing their career, they have good money, they have...
I'm good.
Stay
in your lane, I'll stay in my lane, right?
My apartment, whatever I need. You can order food from a restaurant
online
in town.
Yeah.
Like the world is going to be more
individualistic.
And that's why people are struggling, because we were meant for community. I want disease to say that.
No, you should say that. Exactly.
We were meant for community. That's why even when we have problems, you can't manage the problem alone. You need at least one person to share with. That's why, you need a support system. That's why your family is important. Some of us, when we come to Kampala, doing good with job and whatever, you abandon your parents in the village. You never get to call them. Your brothers who are not doing as well as you, your sisters,
they're cut off.
Yeah, exactly. You are only called when there are challenges in the village, or, of course, one of the pressures that cause men's mental health is they like to say black tax. If you're a big brother, you're finished university, it is expected
of you.
To be able to. But you can support yourself here in Kampala.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mwalimu with us today as we unmask masculinity, as we look at how men actually navigate the mental health issues in the current world. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back with you.
Smart 24, driving business.
Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full-course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brew age. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasan Hotel. So visit today at plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasand Hotels, luxury redefined.
Amanya gange nze Namutebi Sharon nga nkolera wano wennyini Saka Kirombe oba Makindye. Empangula gye nawanguddemu ssente mbadde nga nkozesa mobile money nga nsindika school fees w'omwana ku ssomero. Okutegeera nti mpangudde nze mu mutima neegambye nti kambalinde bamale okujja ndyoke nzikirize nti mpangudde. Kyennyinza okubagamba nti si byabafere weewaawo abafere gye bali naye ennamba eri emu yokka era bw'eba ekukubidde omanye eyo si yabafere. Mpulira bulungi nnyo 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 era ndi musanyufu nnyo. Naye MTN mobile money mbebaza nnyo mwebale nnyo mwebalire.
Together we're unstoppable. This is GOTV, and right here is where you can catch the brilliance of Mbappe, the scoring power of Kane, Ronaldo's, and all of the greats fighting for the glory to be crowned the kings of Europe. Don't miss the unbeatable action of all 51 games of Europe's biggest football event live on SuperSport on GOTV and GOTV Stream. The Euro 2024 live. That's GOTV for you. Love it.
Cooking oil like no other makes your meal so sweet and scrumptious. The taste of Uganda, yeah, the taste of Uganda, the taste.
Smart 24, driving business.
Ready to go?
Yes. Great, ladies and gentlemen, talks on Thursdays every 4 p.m. And today we have a guest, Mwalimu. I should say AKA Mwalimu, but he's Amanya. It's been good to have him, and it's a very good conversation.
Thank you.
Please let us know on the YouTube channel what you think that you really want to contribute to the conversation generally. And before we left off, Mr. Mwalimu.
Yes.
Or should I just say AKA Mr. Mwalimu?
Yes, Mwalimu.
Mwalimu, anyway. Yeah, we were talking about the community, the sense of community that has been lost from us being able to, the difference between the generation of our grandfathers, the fathers, and now our husbands and then the sons that we are looking at. And it's good to highlight it because at the end of the day, someone might think, hey, maybe the boys you're raising now, they're weak, they're on sausages, like some food.
I don't know, but when we mention community, we're talking as simple as, you remember far back, some people still do. Those Christmas holidays, people would drive back and with their families. So many families gather, they get to know each other, they but nowadays, some people do not no longer do. So they don't know each other, there's no relationship between the children here and their grandparents and whatever. So they grow up isolated and just knowing only their family in a gated community. They're driving in a car to school and they brought in a car from school and after university, they're being told to use a taxi. They don't know.
And then the next thing, they're really stressed out.
So, and other things I'm talking about is, we used to have, play time in school with random children in the estate,
Neighbors and
the children are out riding,
Yeah.
you know,
You don't even know
small
the person's
tires
name,
and
but
whatever.
yeah.
But you know, so children meet and you know, so you know, but people are intentional. Some are intentional about doing this, and when I mention community, I'm not saying now it's not there. That people who are doing, but there are things also that are happening with the generation now that are plastic. It's because of our status. We can go to a good restaurant here in town and eat a lunch hour meal, but it's professional.
Yeah.
Let's meet over lunch. Let's meet over dinner. It's professional. Too much English. We are all clad in a. It's professional. Nobody will confidently say, you know,
Today was a hard
I'm
day.
going through this. Because if you say Evelyn, some other guys will start to be like,
Yeah.
it starts to feel like an easy, and when they leave, definitely they may actually make calls to each other and say,
Become a topic, you know.
it become a topic. Or even if you say
mention
fellowship,
content.
you may become, if you say, brethren, I would love you to pray for me about this. Some who are not sensitive, if you mention this, they become the story the next day. So the sense of covering each other, the one anotherness, which God reminds us of every day in the Bible, of serving one another, loving one another. Now, that means more than just a hi. It means looking out for each other, cushioning each other, meeting the needs of each other. And these needs are not just things, material things. There are other needs, emotional needs, presence, and you know. So I'm talking about that kind of community where people really genuinely care about each other. Where in the village the child was everybody's child, and but now it's like even if my child is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, who are you to
how
Which, at school, if they tell you this child is, if someone comes and says do,
Yep.
so but how shall we inculcate particular values and morals? But also, if people don't see friends of your husband come home, if they don't get to meet over dinner, these children get to interact, or when they're going to church, or when they're at church, or see you visiting, how will they develop a community around them? It's like all they know is you and their father, and maybe some uncles who come home and but there's more to the world. That's why when you and the things are not taught in schools.
No.
That's why even people are not people not employable, because these basic skills of community, teamwork, working with one another, but also looking to more than just academics and grades and brilliance, to one, I mean, relationships that are meaningful and
emotional build-up, and
so
all that kind of.
That's what I mean when I say community. I'm not saying it's completely gone. It is still
needed to qualify
there. We
that.
just need to be more intentional about investing in meaningful long-term friendships, to know that they're important.
Especially knowing that we are talking about in this now dynamic, global, it's crazy.
It's a lot of
days.
social,
lots of stuff going on.
We are together alone. People can be on the dinner table, but everybody's on their WhatsApp. The food is getting cold, or everybody prefers to get their food from the dinner table, go to their room. Or I mean, we are everywhere, nowhere, because people are looking at the Facebook lives. Those are not your friends. These people just see. Friends are. We want these. We're talking about real physical.
I'm seeing you with your guys.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. It's okay. You have a big following. You're a big guy. But actually, it's when you are going through difficult times that you know what friendship means. When
that you know
someone.
Who.
Because and if you put it out there, it becomes content. They say, now.
Mwalimu.
This one also. We got you.
Mwalimu.
Exactly.
Yes, I get
so
it.
the pressures also are many. And so we need to get back to those. And it's never late.
And it's never late, especially when you speak of intentionality. Again, relating to the current world now. Things have changed, like you mentioned. But how do you play it out to enable that environment for your son to speak?
Exactly.
The one that you can't see from 9 to 9.
Exactly.
You know, because you're either jammed up or
intentional
not
about
available.
creating that relationship between you and your children, your daughter, your son, and your husband, because they see you how you relate with each other. They see how you talk. They're learning. So actually I love to say also parenting. Because some of the things we see people struggling with, they come from the parenting issues.
From the parenting.
Some of the men, absentee fathers, the
source usually can affect that.
Because the man was not there, the child did not get the cushion, the love, the support of the husband, so they grow up with that deficiency. Maybe did not have a father figure who came around, so they do not know.
I like what you say. You know,
what happens? The cycle continues when they also become parents. They don't have what to apply if they have not trained themselves, if they are not committed to learning and being in spaces where they are supported and mentored. So,
yeah, I get you.
We have to change the narrative.
We have to change it.
Exactly.
We are getting there. Yeah. From what you're saying, actually, what you're answering, quite a number of questions. You know, before we came on here, it was a hot discussion. One of our school pages.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you mean? Men, we are empowered. What, maybe you create for us spaces. Maybe, what do you mean we are okay? You know,
that's it.
We are okay. Yeah.
That's why people think of us.
Yeah.
And therefore we have to fit in the role. Men, you're supposed to be in charge. You should be a lion.
So how do we support that? You know, how do we make it safe for, from what you, first of all, just from where you shared, I can see that at the end of the day, generally, you need to have cultivated a relationship with a guy, whether it's your male friend, whether it's your wife, husband, whether it's a son, daughter. It's got to be this kind of a relationship.
They use that to be able to say, you know, my husband, I realized you've changed. You're easily irritable and angry. You were not like this. And I genuinely think I may not be able to understand. You may not feel comfortable sharing with me this, but I recommend the men who are friends, there are couples we admire, there are men who have a space where they talk issues. It would be okay to just, you know, look out one or go to that space and you never know.
Okay.
That's basically, you know, as a woman, you've not taken over the home, you're not trying to assert authority over, but you're just doing like you're just supportive, you help a role of saying, or even you also maybe reach out some other man who, as long as you trust them and you know they're not going to feel like,
back to that
so these ones are failing to manage their affairs and now they're calling. No, who you know is a mature and understanding man and say, you know, best man and whatever. Those are the things you say. I've seen my husband, he wasn't like this. I honestly smell a rat.
But at the end of the day, you would have made the time.
Exactly.
To even notice that he wasn't like this.
Exactly. You should also have a relationship for you to...
Back to the relationship. So intentionality. Making that relationship as well to that level of I can say something to you. And it's out of care and love, not to shame you.
Not to shame.
And at the end of the day, it becomes a very fundamental thing right there.
Yeah.
So how do we change? How do I train my son or somebody out there? I wonder. Because really, at the end of the day, they're getting that feedback. Yes, you're supposed to be, but why do you look so weak? I seen yesterday you were like really weakening. How do we support someone? Because at the end of the day, this is now the feedback that our sons come back home with. Of I couldn't do this. My daddy said I look very weak, or I went. The other boy told me to man up. I couldn't say anything.
You see,
so
and we are parenting is really not only the parents' job. There's a lot also that children are hearing at school from fellow children because of what their parents tell them. But when they come home, then it's you who has to harmonize this and say, oh no, it's like this. This doesn't mean that you're weak, actually. Affirming them and helping them recognize the strength they have and helping them in a sense to grow self-awareness. But you can't give what you do not have. You also need to be knowing. Because it doesn't mean that if they're not good at mathematics, they're not good at anything. And there's more to meaningful and productive life and whatever than just best grades in mathematics. So, but when you make it look like if they get below this mark, they're nothing. You call them all sorts of names. You're their mother. You call them all sorts of names. How the head looks like a thing. Or if they break a flask and you howl all these insults and whatever, as though that flask is more important than the child. We're not saying that go lazy on helping children behave well and whatever, but we're saying some of these parenting styles, and I don't blame people so much because, like I said initially, some of them did not get this, so that they're learning on job. They do not know how better to do. But I said to my friends who are parents and the people I get opportunity to talk to that if you take all these years studying a degree to become a
about
senior HR, to become a senior digital specialist.
CEO.
How much more? These children, they matter. Their lives are important. You and your husband, it's okay to attend those parenting
Take up
seminars.
on-
It's okay to look up something on YouTube. It's okay to learn how to support them in their skills, in their holistically, in their, to draw them to places where, you know, there are good values here, there's something you admire. So it's from the perspective what you mentioned, I would say it takes the parent to be aware, to help the child know what is true, what is fundamental, what the essential value upon them is, that they're created in the image of God. If they are believers. I think if believers, you know, helping them understand this, that because the child said I have a big head, that I'm a weak boy because I couldn't do this, is helping them see that actually there's much more. There are these things you did yesterday. You managed to clean the utensils, you know, and involving them in giving them these responsibilities and things, and helping them grow holistically, and helping them look at life in a broader perspective. Also encouraging them to be gracious and kind even to those who tell them such words, and helping them decode those things of man, be strong and whatever. So you're strong. There are these things you do, but maybe you could not manage this, and I think maybe this was so much for you. But you may not be able to do it at this age, but at this age you'll be able to do it. And you not being able to do this doesn't mean that you're weak. So it's you to affirm them, it's you to reward their good behavior, it's you to, but that comes from a relationship.
Back to the basics.
Back to the basics, from a relationship, from a commitment, from you taking them out, having some games with them, spending some time with them intentionally, you know, supporting them in some kind of way, you know, it's a journey. It's not, doesn't happen overnight.
I get it.
But that's your 24/7 job. I tell parents.
Yes, what I was about to say.
It's a 24. That's your biggest organization.
So if you're not really there,
you can be a CEO of a big company, but if your family is struggling, then I mean, what you're doing up there, you can later realize how unfulfilling it is when your family is. So
it's all over the place.
This is your 24/7 job.
Okay.
You signed up for it. Go all the way.
Just given me quite revise a few strategies for my personal life. But that's great, even at the levels of family. So how would you encourage levels, for example, corporate spaces?
So
how would you speak?
I would say I was going to at some point I almost related that to corporate spaces, work environments. People have things they're going through. People have loans. People have debts. People have family pressures. People have things going on. They're trying to balance a lot of things. Actually, the definition of stress is that the resources at hand can't match the demand at hand. So that's how stress comes, and it's a trajectory that is small stress from the jam to work, failing to meet deadlines, that transits into anxiety. Now, when you see the boss, you cringe, and then later, actually, depressions, panic attacks, wake up and they don't. So I would love to encourage workplaces to create mental health safe spaces where people can gather, can express themselves freely, a place of trust, a place of safety, where people can meet when they're not being appraised, when they're not being asked for reports and deadlines, where it's a place of saying, let's talk, what's happening, who needs help, and maybe having a counselor there, or partnering with counseling spaces. We do that with some organizations, some people, insurance partners, and we come and talk, even if it's creating awareness. People do not know they have these needs until they break down. There's burnout at the workplace. There's compassion fatigue, all these things are happening, and people don't get where to air them out. All you do when you come to them is deadlines, is results, and some working environments can be really, really stressful. So we can do this. We can provide this support also to the people, the workforce. How I wish we would appreciate how actually this helps boost their mental health and resilience and performance, and you would be amazed. But you don't do it.
We don't do it.
It's at the detriment of
The
work,
consequences of it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So as you speak generally, of course, at the end of the day, it becomes almost as an individual responsibility.
Yeah.
So how would you encourage Evelyn, Mwalimu, Sarah, John, with all that's going on, how do you prioritize mental health? Because really, you're not going to take away the debts, the loans. They're right there in your face. The kids are requiring, the wife, the husband.
The pressures are
pressure
there,
is there.
the stress is there.
The economy is economy.
You try to do the math,
And it's not adding up.
You earn this, but your expenditure is this.
Exactly. That's not going away in a day. But tomorrow I need to awake and face tomorrow,
and face
Friday.
the day tomorrow with
with a hey, it's Friday.
with
Not a hey.
It can
how
be
do I
really
prioritize
challenging.
it? Yeah.
I would encourage that we normalize these conversations. That if you're struggling, talk to someone. I normally say, people say where the world is going.
Back to the main conversation. Most of usually in our workspaces or marketplaces, it is when you talk to the men, they're like, and then you do what? Like, how are you?
What to do?
And then you do what? How are you going to help me?
I know.
By me answering this kind of, Yeah, I know you care. But right now it's tough. It's okay for a conversation going. But I don't know how to facilitate.
Then Evelyn may not be able to help, but if you mention that, it's a sign that something is going wrong and it's overwhelming. So what Evelyn can do can refer you to someone you can talk to. Or can. But the challenge also is that the support we need from workplaces is that when conversation is normalized, that someone can tell you what they're going through and they don't fear that they're going to lose their job.
Exactly.
Because the guys who have come to like the rehab and they've told us their workplaces saw the need and the struggle they were having and recommended, and they were paying for them to be at the rehab and told them actually after the rehabilitation time they can invite to their jobs. Do you know how supportive that can be?
That is supportive, but it's not for...
so people, the employee assistant programs, that talk about...
Should we take this back home maybe? Because we might not be able to control our workplaces, marketplaces. Is there something at home we can do to you?
So I was coming to that too. Also as individuals, we need to be intentional about integrating this in our routine.
Okay.
With many things, knowing that it's helpful to boosting our energy, to boosting our cognitive, to abilities and functioning, to our socialization, because we do life with people, to know how this is helpful for you as an individual. Because when you do that, it takes away the risk of you struggling with some of these diseases or health issues. So integrating in things like exercising, prayer. Me as a Christian, I would say really how that helps me. The fellowship for me is like a support system. The church where I pray, it matters what I'm learning and how that is anchoring me. Like I said at the start, how important that is. But also having someone you can confide in, who you are accountable to. Accountability and being open to them, and it's two-way. I open up to you, you also share with me. But also being in touch with family. People don't know how important this is. I normally say you may not have really a good relationship with someone, but something. Say hello to them, check on them. Your parents, when did you last talk to them? When did you last visit them? Some of them have with them even here in Kampala. You spend time with them. Do you take off some time to spend the time with your family as a busy CEO, as a busy specialist in whatever? You're crazy. Schedules are crazy. Some people, their work, they're always on the move. It's like you're in Barre the whole week, you're in Mukono the whole week, you're in... When do you come back to your home? Children,
maybe that's
do you try with Zoom calls and find out how that day has gone? What they have eaten? Talk to their mother. Even when you're not there presently, you can. When they have their activities at school, your child is in a play. Do you ask for a day off at work and show up and see them? Let me tell you, children, and now all these are like parenting related. When they do their play, and everybody's bowing, saying, they're looking around to see their
Always
parent if
look
they're
around.
around, and if you,
Yeah.
that's the best moment.
Yeah.
So, do you care? Even at work, by the way, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I mean, it's like you're using them. It's like, do you care about them beyond
really care
deliverables, beyond KPIs? Do you? So I think each one of us, I normally say, you can't help everybody, but each one can reach one.
I like
each
it.
one can reach one. And whoever you are, wherever you are, you can make a difference. And if you can make a difference, together we can make a big difference.
I like it.
Yeah, so yeah. And to be intentional, being a brother's keeper, a sister's keeper, there's a lot we can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mwalimu.
Thank you.
Maybe just as we try to close this, what, of course, like you mentioned, it's quite a digital space, it's media, it's everything is online. How can we use the media to, to bring this out more in a positive way? What role can they play to support what they call a boy child?
Media is a humongous
tool,
mountain of influence, and I normally say the thought leaders, opinion leaders, if they take on this and host spaces or offer airtime like this to have these conversations and then identify, even and government partnering with media and provide, do campaigns of promoting mental health and like suicide prevention, people talking about this, and people who are in the media space making noise, good noise about this, people will start to, people will appreciate. Because what happens, like, people in the media, they're influencers, they're opinion leaders, there are some who are, when you do this, and like I mentioned, some people who are bored, who have come out to share their stories, some men, what this does is that it takes away the stigma, low-key.
Yeah.
People start acknowledging, there are people there.
Kind of normalize
it normalizes the conversation. The people there were going through these things. They have shared about them. I can go to them now. I can quietly go to them, like Nicodemus went to him. I can quietly go to them.
Yeah.
It's okay to seek help. It's okay to speak out. It's okay to, there are people out there who are talking about this thing. So actually, people start appreciating, actually, these signs could mean this. If I see my husband being irritable, having an overwhelming sense of sadness, worried about too much, becoming a workaholic, all these changes, someone who was vibrant, who will vibe, but then all of a sudden, mood change, they're no longer as vibrant. Then they're becoming absent. If it's a child at school, by the way, even in schools, the child has been absent more than 1 day, 2 days. You don't know what's going on at their family. You've not contacted, you don't know. So family members, being intentional, those WhatsApp groups we have, let's not just share good stuff also. If someone shares something, reach out to them, call them, go to their place if you can. Be intentional. So I have this thing that when the media, because you guys influence lots, when you talk about it like this conversation, people see and relate and then know that we are not alone and there are people who can support us. Then they boldly also speak out or go out to look for help. And so I would say CEOs, media personalities, fathers, brothers, whoever, church leaders. I mean, talk about this thing, let people know that conversation is normal.
It's okay.
It's okay for a man to find a fellow man and they cry together. You don't have to do it in front of your wife and children.
Unless
you can find another man.
The relationship.
You can find another man and say, you know what, he was going like this.
Yeah.
I tried to hold up myself, but then later you can find a way of breaking it down also with your wife or whoever, but without overwhelming them with stuff. You can find fellow men who you can talk about these things. And
But that takes intentionality, you know.
it takes
Because really,
intentionality.
from, like I mentioned, we had this discussion before.
Yeah.
People have questions of, but people don't care that much. People, you know, at the end of the day, it is, do they care? Am I just going to say something? And then it goes back to
I normally
relationship,
say not
finding
everybody will
something.
shut their doors on
Exactly.
you. Not everybody will not pay attention. Not everybody will be nonchalant. Not everybody will be quiet on you. Not everybody will.
There
There's
will always
one
be
person
someone.
out there who's call back. There's one person out there who will say, can we talk? And you say, I do not have money. You say, okay, for this one time, I can be able to see you still. It's not like,
Yeah.
there are people out there. There are people out there.
Please say it right there.
There are people out there who are willing and ready to help those who are struggling. The thing you're struggling actually is what they have been able to manage, and they've gone through. And because of that experience, like we normally do in addiction recovery, people share their testimonies, and those who see them know that, well, someone went through this, and this is the guy that's celebrated around town, but he's going around sharing his story and how it is helping others. We normally, they have a principle in the AA book when I do addiction counseling, that
Okay.
just like it says, we keep what we have by giving it away.
Okay.
Because in
English.
sharing that, to decode that, is that it is helpful for them that they're preaching this gospel, that they're sharing how they've been helped, but it encourages someone. It brings them on board. It takes away the stigma, pole, slowly by slowly.
Okay.
And then brings them close. They know that they can be able to talk to someone. There's someone who's gone through what they're going through, and they don't have to die with it alone.
Okay.
And they also have another principle that says, for the AA program, that says, no matter how beautiful and big a tree is, it can never make a forest.
Okay.
We need each other.
We need each other.
The one string of the guitar doesn't make music, it's the six.
Okay.
So that thing
It's
of
a whole
community, that's how we
community,
get back
collaboration.
to doing life together.
Oh, beautiful. Mr. Mwalimu, as we draw this to a close,
Yeah.
this is a very close close.
Okay.
Anyway, so without sharing, really,
Yeah.
just viewers, I'm sure I'd love to know, do you have a personal story, Mr. you might not have to share, that drew you to this kind of, wanting to do this in a way that you celebrate as, yay, I made it. If I found someone who actually did this for me, they helped me, that's how I'm able to encourage other people.
To help other
To
people.
actually help other people.
Yeah, I personally had some, like I shared with you earlier, some personal struggles
Yeah.
that I was going through that are very, very deep for me. I remember, I will say here that there's a night that was sleepless. I just turned around the bed but couldn't sleep. I just was talking to myself. I was like, it was so much. I remember getting my phone and writing down names of people, that friends of mine, and one of them my mentors who I wanted to talk to. And because it was so much, and I felt like, how can this happen? I remember so looking them out and talking to them. It was so helpful.
Okay.
But one of the things also that I got from that is when I started intentional exercising.
Oh, okay.
It
So you
was-
encourage
it was-
exercise?
Yeah. It was a time that was so difficult for
Okay.
me. But then I turned the energy into
Working out.
exercise.
Okay.
Interesting how it has
Interesting how
become
it has
part of
become
my
part
life,
of
and
my
I
life, and I
appreciate
appreciate
how
how
it's helpful.
it's
But
helpful, but
also,
also
I have
I
a
have
support
a
system
support
that
system
I
that
go
I
to.
go
That
to.
These brothers
These
of
brothers
mine,
of mine, they
we
also
believe the same.
believe the same.
You can
We're
send
Christians. We
Christians.
have fellowship, our
Fellowship,
church.
our
Yeah.
church.
Yeah.
I'm not guaranteeing that all the people in the
course.
church understand this and will be available to help. But I encourage that if you care to look for help, you'll find the help. If
Yeah.
you speak, someone will be able to help. So yeah, and when someone helps you, I mean, it's selfish
Help
for you to
someone
just keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
And so there's the who said, each one teach one. So like I said, each one of us may not be able to help everyone, but each one can help someone, and that means together we can reach more. So that's it. We are here. We are ready to help. We have a men's support group
Yeah.
that we host the physical meeting, but also Saturdays every morning by 7. Men are up from all over the world joining to this Twitter space. We're talking men's conversations. parenting, fathering, lots of things, men's mental health, finances and responsible living, faith, business, and like how holistic.
Conversation.
Yeah, and people from all walks of life, different perspectives, but all focusing on making us better, mentally healthy and resilient men who are going to mentor boys,
Yes.
who are going to become greater men who also, so that it continues and,
You build a
we build.
a whole tree.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
It's been a privilege hosting you for sure. And ladies,
I almost did the thing you do with men.
no, thank you very much. Yeah, hope we can have you again. This is a very crucial conversation, and hope you have enjoyed the conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time to do this. At the end of the day, I hope you picked something. What I have picked is you need to have taken the time, first of all, to create that relationship. Be supportive in that way. We are all going through struggles in a way, unknown or unknown. Just take the time to be there for someone, support them, whether they're a man or a woman, but in this case, for the man, be there for them. If you know a space, a friend, encourage them to speak up. We care. As women, we care. Even fellow men do care. So take the time to be the friend that everyone needs in a way, that you would need in your time of need. Thank you for joining us. Again, next Thursday, I hope you do join us, but mostly, Fidelis Leadership Institute is running a new cohort in July. Sign up. Look out our website and sign up for our next cohort. You would not regret it. Thank you for being with us again and enjoy your evening.
Smart 24, driving business.
Cooking oil like no other makes your meal so sweet and scrumptious. The taste of Uganda, yeah, the taste of Uganda, the taste of Uganda. I want ya.
Are you a female business owner in Uganda looking to grow and transform your business? Grow empowers you with access to entrepreneur services, accelerating your business growth from micro to small and from small to medium enterprises. Grow provides comprehensive support, including training, startup tools, business formalization, certification, networking opportunities, access to affordable credit and grants, coaching, and mentorship, with all resources available for free. For more information, please visit grow.go.ug. Contact the PSFU Grow officers at Trust Towers, ground floor, plot 4 Chadondo Road, Nakasero, or the Ministry of Gender at plot 2 George Street, Simba Manyo House, 3rd floor. Call us at +256 394 514 071. This message is brought to you by the Grow Project, a Government of Uganda project implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and PSFU, funded by the World Bank. Grow, generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises.
This is GOTV, and right here is where you can catch the brilliance of Mbappe, the scoring power of Kane, Ronaldo's, and all of the greats fighting for the glory to be crowned the kings of Europe. Don't miss the unbeatable action of all 51 games of Europe's biggest football event, live on SuperSport on GOTV and GOTV Stream. The Euro 2024 live. That's GOTV for you. Love it.
Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel has you endowed in the splendor of elegant living, fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full-course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasun Hotel. So visit today at Plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasun Hotels, luxury redefined.
Smart 24, driving business.
Mu nkyukakyuka ya tekinologiya, bintu bingi kati abantu bye bakola ebisukkulumye ku myaka gy'edda era nga mu nnyambala kati abakugu baavumbulayo okukola engoye ng'okozesa kaadi mu lufuutifuuti emanyikiddwa nga punch card. Eno ekolebwa mu lupapula oluliko engeri y'akaveera kungulu era ng'ebeera ngumu so mu yo musibwamu obutuli obugiyamba okuyingira obulungi mu kyalaani. Punch card zino ziyamba mu bintu bingi omuli ababala ebitabo ozikozesa wamu n'okukuuma ebitabo bya bizinensi. Olwaleero ekyenjawulo tugenda kukola olugoye nga tweyambisa punch card. Luno bw'oba olutunuulidde lw'oyinza okulaba bannabizinensi bwe beeyongedde tekinologiya n'ettutuma okuyita mu kuyiiya. Obuyiiya ate bweyongedde okweyoleka naddala mu bannaffe abatunzi kubanga ng'emirembe bwe gigenda gikyuka n'abatunzi bano bavuddeyo okubeera nga bakyusa ebintu eby'enjawulo naddala mu ebyo bye batunga. Bw'oba otunuulidde esweta yaffe eno, esweta eno ekoleddwa mu wuzi. Wabula wandyebuuziza eno ekoleddwa etya. Ebiseera bye tusinga okulaba ebintu bwe biti tulowooza nti tie and dye, ne tukwata ne tunnyika mu langi ez'enjawulo ne tuggyayo ekintu bwe kiti. Naye olunaku olwaleero ku program Skill Up tugenda kuba tukozesa punch card. Punch card eno tugenda kuba tukolamu olugoye. Olugoye luno lukolebwa lutya? Nkusaba